Now, I don't say this often.
I don't say this often.
Now, I don't say this often. He's going to be a wild card in the league. Welcome back to the Wildcards Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Coleman Madlin. I'm joined here today by my good friends and fellow co-hosts.
The GOAT, Joshua Sykes.
Brandon Orkey.
And today, we're back with another podcast episode. I think this is our 26th podcast. And I think, was it a year ago tomorrow when we started the Wildcards Podcast? So that's pretty cool. You guys have anything to add about that before we get started?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year with y'all, chatting it up. You know, y'all some yappers for real, and
Yeah.
we enjoy doing that together. So I'm glad I
Hell
came
yeah.
up with the idea to make a podcast.
Okay. There you go. We always got to have someone to take credit for stuff. You know, it's not about having fun. It's always
Whose idea was it?
You're right. It was your
All
idea.
right.
Brandon, any thoughts? Any reflections? Anything you would do differently?
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. I got my money up.
For sure. Okay.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Yeah, we have a one-on-one deal going on. If your performance metrics go up, I'll think about adding you to the payroll. But for now, let's get right into the news. So first of all, 49ers, man. We'll talk about the Super Bowl later. You know, our thoughts, our reactions, our immediate. You know, should we have put money on a different team? But for now, let's talk about the recent news. Kyle Shanahan, came out today and he said he's going to fire defensive coordinator Steve Wilks after just 1 year. And it was a big thing. San Francisco's defense was big all year. All the pieces they have. I mean, headlined by the guys of Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. It's a lot of big names there, and they did pretty well throughout the season. I'm pretty sure top 5 in a bunch of metrics. But at the end of it, they just couldn't hold off the top powered offenses, the ones that made it through it all the way through the final, or through the playoffs, that is, rather. And Kyle Shanahan and company must have thought that wasn't enough out of Steve Wilks with the pieces they had, and ended up firing him. So do you guys have any thoughts about that?
I mean, you give me that defense, I think I'll stop a few passes from Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce in the second half. I mean, we all knew that's where the ball was going, so I don't know how you don't stop it. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you do have one of your second best linebacker go down with an unfortunate injury.
That was bizarre.
I'm sure we'll talk about that later when we get back to the Super Bowl. But still, I think you find a way to win that game. I mean, you hold them to, what was it, 19-19? So, or what was that? What was the score? It was 19-19, was it not, going in after the fourth quarter?
It was 19-19 going into overtime. If you really watched the game, Josh, with your eyes.
I did. I just can't exactly remember the score. I'm sorry, Brandon. But you hold them to 19, which is awesome. But also, this Chiefs team is not like Chiefs teams of the past. They don't rely on their offenses. I mean, they don't rely on their offense as much. They rely on the defense. And
Exactly.
I feel like you got one more stop in you at least.
Was this one of the first games this season? Do you guys think that the 49ers were outpaced on were facing a better defense than they had?
I'd say no, because they played the Ravens. I think the Ravens defense was probably the best this year. Obviously, it didn't show up in the playoffs when, Patrick Mahomes did his thing. But I don't know. I thought about this when they fired him. How hard can it be to scheme? You have 2 weeks for the Super Bowl to watch film and scheme against any team. I'll just use the Chiefs, for example, because that's who they lost to. Like Josh said, it's going to Travis Kelce. And then, so all you have to do is you put your best linebacker on him, best coverage guy, which I don't think is Fred Warner. I don't think he has as great as coverage as Ward or Greenlaw, but Greenlaw did get injured. And then, I force him to, make a play to, MVS or Noah Gray, which obviously, he does, but I'd rather live like that than allow Travis Kelce to dice up my defense when it matters the most.
They did an outstanding job limiting him, and thank you for that. And I like what you said there. They did a great job in the first half. Or
at halftime, he had one catch, 1 yard.
Or on the flip side, you could say maybe Andy Reid, who I would say is the second greatest head coach of all time. I'm just going to go out and say it. I think maybe he just wasn't planning right, or obviously, there was the big dispute. And we're just talking about the Super Bowl now. You guys just want to talk about it now? Just get it out of the way. It was a big thing that happened. You might as well just talk about it now. Obviously, there was that big incident that it was caught on camera so many times. The Travis Kelce pushing Andy Reid. They weren't on the same page at the first half. Travis Kelce obviously thought he should be more involved in the offense, which I think personally, no matter how much or how much more you think you should be involved, that's you never go up and push your coach. I mean, that's just at any level, man. I mean, I don't care if you're getting paid more. I mean, he's getting paid more than Andy. I don't care what the situation is. You don't go punt or push your coach and get in his face. That's just there was a bunch of commentary on social media like about players who thought they would be fired if they did that to their coach, which back when I was playing Division I football for Alabama, if I went up to Nick Saban and I said and I got in his face like that, you best believe I'd be off the team. I'd be off the team in half an instant. Their starting quarterback just gone off the and so I just think it's kind of like a weird dynamic that you can have with especially in today's age where like people have different relationships with coaches. Like players are on different relationships with coaches compared to a couple decades ago. And I don't know. I just think it's interesting. But yeah, obviously they weren't on the same page for the first half, but they obviously turned it around in the second half. And I wonder if that's what did it. I wonder if if the 49ers won this game, obviously he wouldn't have been fired. I still think that their performance against the Lions wasn't that good, but
no, I think you're right. I mean, obviously, like if they obviously win, I don't think you fire him. Like you can't. Still might, but I don't think you would. I think you would just like tell him to like change his scheme because they're saying like Shanahan's reasoning was saying that like the scheme didn't fit them because like they had D'Amico Ryans who did great with that team, and they had Saleh, the Jets head coach. It's like it's basically the same defense. People were performing, and Steve Wilkes performed like in the regular season, but I mean, it doesn't matter when you have to get to the playoffs. Like they were losing to the Packers, and then somehow won. The Lions blew 24-3 at halftime lead, and then they win. So I mean, I think
keep going.
I think if they win the Super Bowl, there's still a chance he gets fired because he didn't do that good. But I think you would just tell him.
Sure. To be fair, though, I don't think Wilkes I don't think Wilkes is nearly on the same level as Robert Saleh or D'Amico Ryans by any means. I don't think he's a guy that's going to go out and get a head coaching job and succeed like the way that they have done. But that's just me. Would you guys disagree? Do you think Wilkes is a guy who can go out and get a head coaching job after that performance or those performances?
Yeah, he kind of just reminds me of a guy, Todd Boyles from Tampa Bay. Kind of just like a lateral movement for him from Tampa. They kind of moved on for similar reasons, I guess, scheme thing. He kind of reminds me of him. So I don't think he'll get a head coaching job, no. But I don't think he's a bad defense coordinator. I just think maybe he just didn't, scheme correctly for the Chiefs. I don't really know.
Yeah. No, I agree. And at the end of the day, obviously the injury, the Greenlaw injury, which, I mean, we said we were going to talk about it later, but we're talking about the Super Bowl now. It was the injury where he was excited running off the sideline after I think it was a Niners stop or a Niners.
No, it was a punt.
It was a punt, right? And he was running back onto the field, right?
Yeah.
Or you could say it.
No, I mean you were saying it. You just
okay, sure. Oh, my bad. You were calling me out for my BS.
Yeah, the 49ers punted it. I mean, he was hyped.
Yeah, no, you're right. And he's hyped. He's running out on the field.
It's going to be their second drive, and then he goes to run on the field, and pop goes the Achilles.
Yeah,
that's.
So you think he's going to join Aaron Rodgers in his recovery program and smoke some ayahuasca this offseason?
Sure, I think he'll be back by training camp. No, I'm kidding. I don't even think the injury was that bad. Was it completely torn?
Yeah, he tore it, full tear.
Full tear. Wow,
that's crazy.
I thought I saw something where it was still being evaluated, but I guess it was released recently.
Brandon has inside sources on that.
Oh, yeah, he's ahead. He's ahead.
Well, because I care about our job, dude.
Yeah, senior correspondent. That's why you have that title.
Yeah, come on, dude.
But overall, I mean, let's think about the bigger picture here. Mahomes wins his third Super Bowl, and he is now. I mean, not now, but nothing changed about this. But this year, but he has 2 MVPs. Let's just throw it out there. Brady only had 3 MVPs, and obviously he had the 7 rings. But Mahomes is only 28 at this pace. He's won a ring every other year in his career. Not exactly every year, but half the years he's been in the league. I don't see a way that this race doesn't get any more competitive. I see Mahomes winning much more championships. It doesn't have to be a three-peat, but I see him staying with Kansas City, and I see him for a very long time dominating, which I'm sure many people agree with me, but there are some people that I've been talking to, just friends around Tallahassee, and they've been saying that the race will never be competitive because of the 2 wins that Brady has in the playoffs. And while I agree, like there's always it's hard to like, I mean, you'll never
I
be able to
disagree.
argue. I that's what I was gonna say. I also disagree. The 2 win, like, because you could say that a guy like Eli Manning, who has the 2 wins over Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, does that make him the GOAT? Josh, does that make him the GOAT?
Does he have 7 rings? No, he has 2 rings,
So
and he doesn't have the stats that Brady has. Just because
so if Eli Manning had 7 rings and three in this
yeah, he'd be the GOAT.
he'd be the GOAT. Okay, I just want to see where the
Yeah.
playing field is at. So if Brady and Mahomes, let's say they end both their careers, obviously Brady's over, we think. Vikings need a QB, but we'll move on. I think if they end their careers and they have the exact same stats, you think that those 2 wins will play that much of a difference?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
What do you think Mahomes has to
Well-
do to overcome that? But on top of the, so you're saying he has,
I definitely think he has to do what Brady did with getting a ring somewhere else. Because don't get me wrong, it's a great situation there. That's why he's winning these rings. It's
Is
not
it though?
just him.
Is it though? I don't think the situation was great at all. He had
I think it's an
above
amazing
average.
situation.
I think he had an above average defense, but his absolutely garbage can offense, including his receivers, well made up for that fact. And actually, I think they're a average team at best.
I think in the last, I would say 2 years. I would say after they traded Tyreek, I would say, and their defense got better.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a top 10 defense right now. I feel like maybe in top 5. If you really want to look at it that way, with Spagnuolo calling the plays. You got the second greatest head coach of all time, Andy Reid. You got the second greatest tight end of all time. I mean, what do you not have besides maybe like a receiver? But like
That's
at
it.
the same
That's
time,
it.
that's not their fault.
They don't have a receiver number one. That's something that they need to get.
I think y'all are sleeping on Rashid Rice.
I am
think
I am
Rashid- yeah,
sleeping
I
on,
like
on
Rashid.
Rashid. I'm sleeping on Rashid Rice because
I think he's a
not.
good option too.
They haven't developed him into what he could be. First of all, like I think he'll eventually be good, but guys like MVS and all, they're not gonna they're not good. I'm sorry that their receiving core besides Kelsey is despicable. I mean, you have a guy like Kadarius Toney who forced him not to play. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to get a ring. They forced him not to play. He probably, I mean, obviously he has drop issues, but they really do not have any room. They need to either draft an outstanding, first round, which I mean, their pick's going to be terrible. Do they even have a pick this year?
32.
32. Okay, so they still have their pick, but are they going to get a great talent at 32? And they probably need to address other needs anyway, but I think that they pick up a great wide receiver in free agency. It's not like they can't. I mean, they have the best quarterback, most talented quarterback of all time on their team. It's not like they won't be able to, as long as money issues aren't, the biggest issue. So I think that's their biggest goal this season, is to maintain their defense and pick up a wide receiver and maybe get another piece for their O-line. And that's really all they should do. And then work on getting their contract situated so that they can make better runs, not just next year and the year after, but like set up for like set the team up to where they should not have to rebuild. Like what I'm saying? Like work out the contracts or just keep pushing them back, or not. That's not what I mean, but like set them to where there's going to be 1 or 2 years where it's going to be down maybe, and then keep going full blast. Any thoughts?
I mean, not really. I mean, do we want to continue talking about the Super Bowl and talk about Brock Purdy's how everybody's dissing on Brock Purdy right now?
Yeah, that's so tough, man. I feel bad for Brock Purdy.
Do you think it's warranted though? Do you think he played bad, or he didn't play good, or what do you think?
I think he played fine. What do you think, Brendan?
I think as far as it goes, I'm just gonna be honest. I think he played average. I mean, I know he is. Yeah, I mean, people can't keep saying that he's like the last pick. I mean, I get it, but like once you reach like the NFL and you get like the starting job, like you are the starting QB. I don't care like what your background is. Okay, and as much as that team did deal with injuries, like Deebo Samuel, like I think had like an Achilles cramp. George Kittle had like something with his shoulder. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey's just a dog. I mean, he did have that fumble, but I think like when you have a team like that, and I'm just gonna like, I don't know. I just think they were set up to win and they didn't win. And so I mean, obviously it's not all of his fault, but there's definitely some things that he could have done better. But he doesn't have that experience yet, so it's nothing against what he did. He did the best he could, and I think the best he could have done was average. because he hasn't like learned some of the things that Patrick Mahomes, already knows.
I think one of the biggest things that's like helping Brock Purdy's case is there's a bunch of people. I mean, you guys see it on the TV, and they push the narrative, the Mr. Irrelevant, so hard that I think they have a lot of people like feeling bad and be like, oh, it's okay. He's average. He wasn't supposed to be good. He was the last pick in the draft. Whereas like, there's a lot of undrafted players who, I mean, not specifically quarterbacks, but a lot of undrafted players like just do really well. And
Kurt Warner was an undrafted player.
Exactly, Hall of Fame. So I mean, there's players and there's instances where it all happens, and I think that this like plot armor that he has by being Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, but he is on an outstanding team, and the fact that they couldn't get it done is bad. But besides that, I still think he had a pretty. I mean, the first half was pretty good. I'd say is above average, and the second half, below.
I don't think he played worse than Mahomes. I think Mahomes and him are pretty even, and that's that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think that he did poorly, but at the same time, I'm talking about other games and like in general, whenever like the 49ers lost or did bad, I think a lot of it was like, oh, look at Brock Purdy, man. He's so cute. We shouldn't feel bad, or we should feel bad for him because he was the Mr. Irrelevant, and we shouldn't, put any we shouldn't like criticize him the same way we would any other quarterback. And that's kind of the vibe I get from people when they talk about Brock Purdy and like the way he, is playing in his performance. So I don't know, that's just one thing I thought I'd share.
I don't really get that though, because it's like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's almost the exact opposite the way I'm feeling. Like, I feel like people are hating on him for no reason. Like, it's his second year in the league. Okay, he's been to an NFC Championship and he's been to a Super Bowl.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, he's on pace like Mahomes was. I mean, Mahomes went to 6 AFC Championships. Brock Purdy hadn't missed the NFC Championship. Now, teams are different. Talent level is different, I'm sure. But I'm saying, like, I feel like we're putting too much pressure on him. He's coming into a situation where he was third string quarterback coming in, and now he beat out two.
But you can't even say that though. He's been the guy for a year and a half. He's been that guy. So I mean, I know.
But he came into a situation where he was third dude on the depth chart.
So he's not anymore. He's not anymore.
That takes up his whole year though. Okay, let's just call it last year. This is his first like true year coming in knowing he's a starter. And he made it to the Super Bowl. I get it. It's a stacked team. I get that. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have won that game. Now, if I'm the offense coordinator, I take it out of his hand and put it in Christian McCaffrey's a little bit more often.
True.
We win that game.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's Brock Purdy's fault. I think Brock Purdy played a good enough game to win. But I think there was some, of course, with the defense and all that, some things happened where he lost on the last play to the best quarterback on the field in the NFL today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you do?
Sure. Do you guys want to move on to the Dallas Cowboys finalizing a deal with Mike Zimmer?
I mean, we can.
Do you want to talk about that, Josh?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Cowboys finalized a deal with Mike Zimmer, of course. Coleman, he prays to Mike Zimmer every morning. He has a picture of him on his wall.
Yep.
Mike Zimmer, former... was he DC at?
No, he's head coach of the Vikings.
Oh, he was head coach. I remember. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. My disrespect to Mike Zimmer, my bad. But,
no, it's deserved. He was pushed out at the end. He was.
They moved on for a reason.
Yeah, Minneapolis Miracle, but besides that, that's about it. I think 2 playoff wins, but so overall, just get him the hell out. So I'm surprised that he's definitely a defensive-minded guy. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do, but it's the Cowboys again, so who knows?
So they moved on from Dan Quinn. Of course, we all know that. We talked about that. I don't know if this is going to be a step up or step down, really. I mean, was Mike Zimmer a defensive-minded coach?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Their offense was so conservative. It was kind of like the old run on first down, run on second down, pray on third down, do a little rollouts like screen. He's the type of coach that if he saw his quarterback running too much, he'd take him out of the game or just run it the rest of the game. Probably one of the most defensive-minded coaches I've ever seen. There was no creativity, no nothing. But I would say the defenses, especially in like 2017, 2018, the game where he played the Minneapolis Miracle happened that year. Is a bunch of great defensive players combined with a great defensive game plan. So credit where credit's due. Like, he's a good defensive coach. Is he a head coach worthy? Hell no. But I still think he can make an impact for the Cowboys if he does it right. And it's the Cowboys. So at the end of the day, what can we really expect?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Brandon, do you want to talk about the Lions new signing?
Yeah, man. So the Lions signed a Canadian Football League's Defensive Player of the Year, Matthew Betts. I believe that's how you say it. He's Canadian born. He played for the BC Lions, and I think that's
Columbia.
British Columbia. Could be wrong.
Did he play any hockey, eh?
Big hockey guy, eh?
Eh?
No.
Stick and puck or what?
No, I don't think he did any of that. I think he's a football guy. He went to the Bears in 2019 as an undrafted player, but then got cut soon after. But last season for the BC Lions, he had 18 sacks in 18 games. I mean, he got 18 sacks a game, or not 18 sacks a game, 1 sack a game, which I mean that's not bad. I mean,
18 sacks a game. Canadian
You know,
Football League. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I was about to say it.
Sign me up.
He had 44 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and a block kick. I think he's listed at 6'3", 225.
That's little.
I don't know if he plays. I think he was listed as defensive lineman for the Columbia League or Canadian League, but the Lions are gonna maybe they said linebacker. I don't know. I think hopefully it's good. I mean, the Lions don't just sign anyone because they have to
Yeah, they
fit their culture. No, they have to
They
fit
really
their
do.
culture. Because if the Lions just signed anyone, we would just be throwing money at Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but he would never want to sign him.
I'm sure they will, though. They'll probably try to throw something at him.
And wait, you said that they only
wouldn't.
sign people that fit with their culture. So like Jameson Williams and the big gambler guy or other stuff like. Did he fit with the Detroit culture or what?
He's got that grit because you need grit and determination in order to place a bet.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
NFL
didn't
facility.
quit.
You know how much ball? You know how many balls that takes?
You're right. No, for sure. I agree. He had the grit and he had what it took to sit out those 6 games on his couch watching you guys. I really respect it.
It was changed to 4 because the NFL realized that their rule was corrupt.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They came back week 5.
Got it. All right. Well, no, I look forward to seeing what the Lions do on their practice squad with this guy. So
Yeah, hopefully he makes it to the 53-man roster.
That'd be
Our
cool.
linebackers are pretty. I mean, Alex Anzalone and Jack
He's good.
Campbell, and we have Malcolm Rodriguez, but they be putting him at like fullback.
Yeah, probably. And moving on, we got the New York Knicks filing a protest after a terrible call in a game against the Rockets. Josh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, as a ref myself, as an official, the greatest of all time ref,
Okay.
they would say, definitely a terrible call. Like, it was pretty bad. I mean, you review everything, so I don't know why they couldn't review that and say, yeah, that wasn't a foul.
Describe what
Like, I
happened, Josh, on the call.
Well, I mean, it was kind of like a desperation. It was about, I would say, about a 28-foot, 20 or 30-foot 3-point attempt. Brunson, he's running at him, full speed, close out, last second shot. But Brunson, he kind of stops short, and he has his hand up, and the guy is out of control trying to shoot the shot, and it kind of looks like Brunson hit him, but he was running by him. And as the guy is releasing the shot, Brunson's hand is contesting, and Brunson moves to the side. And the guy it takes everything he has to get it up there to the rim. And it kind of looked like he hit him. But when you watch the replay and in the ref's position, he should have seen that there's no contact. I mean, I don't know why you make that call. Dude had a parlay, had to make it,
And then
him and Jameson Williams had a parlay cooking.
Looking up. And usually that those things aren't refs miss calls, but when they openly admit after the game that they made a mistake in official reports, then you have a problem. Then you have something where this this changed the entire game, without a doubt, the Knicks would have won the game 100%. And I saw a few weeks ago, I think it's been 3 maybe before this protests for incorrect calls in the games. I think the Lakers might have done one for when LeBron's foot was. I mean, yeah, it's the Lakers. I'm surprised the Lakers didn't win. I'm pretty sure they have a policy that if it's a team from California or a big market team, the Knicks are a big market team, so I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself. But usually, the joke is the big market teams get the love from the NBA. But I think it was the Lakers when LeBron's foot, when they're playing the Timberwolves, was kind of over the line on his birthday. And they were saying it was. Maybe they filed a protest, a claim. I'm not sure. I'm not confident, but I know a couple other teams have. I think Atlanta or Chicago? A team with red in it. That's all I remember. Did one earlier for a similar call But a bunch of these like calls where the refs miss them. And what's interesting about this one is after the game, the refs actually admitted in their post game report, not admitted. Well, I guess it is admit because like they're acknowledging that they made the wrong call that completely changed the outcome of the game. Which I think that like if that happens, I'm not opposed, me personally. I don't know about you guys, to having the results changed. I know it doesn't happen in any other sport, but if it's something like this, do you guys think that this should be a thing? Like, should the
No.
NBA be allowed to change the call, even if like, what if it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals? Like, is this really a thing we can do?
Well, I mean, I think, in my opinion, like they go and look at everything. So, like,
Well, clearly
in the
not.
last 2 minutes,
Clearly not.
in the last, if you let me finish, in the last 2 minutes, they go look at everything. So, like, out of bounds, they look at different things like that. If coach challenges it, Thibodeau didn't have a challenge. That's another thing. He didn't have one. If he had one, they would have challenged it and they would have got it reviewed. Coach can challenge at any time. It's just he has one challenge, just like NFL, kind of. But to review it, you have to, it's like in the college, it's 2 minutes. You can't. Everything goes under review pretty much. But in the NBA, I don't know if they have the 2 minute rule. I think it's more like just if they want to review it, they can review it at any time. And so, like, my thing is, first of all, Thibodeau, it's his fault they didn't have a challenge. But second of all, if we're going to go look at stuff, like if we're going to go look at it, we need to go look at the most important part of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's going to decide the game, we're going to go look at it. Like, I'm not going to, at the same time, you can't take human error out of it or you're just going to be looking at the screen the whole game. So
Yeah, no,
like,
you're right. I understand that. Like, the games are long enough.
How many games have been like that before the review and all that people were like, oh man, that really sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, and you were right. The NBA changed the rule back in 2022 or the 2021-2022 season where they changed it. They can do the out of bounds challenge in the final 2 minutes. So that was the thing. So you're right about that. And I was gonna say you're right. Like there already is enough like initiated reviews in the NBA, fouls. Do these guys ring any bells? Shea and Joel Embiid. Do those guys
I mean, one's an MVP candidate, the other one's on the bench. So,
why is he okay? Well, that's not fair. He's not.
Whoa, what? Okay,
he's on the bench because
that's just crazy. He's an injury, but whatever.
Is he on the bench? Yes or no?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay, buddy.
But you know what I'm trying to say. I agree with you that the games are already long enough, and maybe Thibodeau should have saved a challenge. But at the same time, like it's hard to justify the Rockets getting a win in this case. Like they have an extra win in the win column, and the Knicks have an extra loss in the loss column because of a terrible call by a referee. And if that's just like how it is, then I don't know. That doesn't really sit well with me. But I also can't really think of any other great ways to resolve that. I don't know. Brendan, do you have any thoughts?
No, I did see the video. I honestly don't think you make that call that time. I mean, it wasn't the game time.
At the end of the game, as a ref, you don't. I mean,
I think you just let the game go to overtime, but you could argue because it was tied, right?
Well, Josh, you ref fourth graders, and these guys ref grown men.
No, I ref some high school ball. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Was the game tied? That's all we need to know.
Yeah, the game was tied. Yeah, when they called the foul.
Oh, you're talking.
I mean, I don't. What are the odds that guy hits that shot? I mean, I don't think Jalen Brunson fouled him, but like, I don't know. I don't think you have to, go all out for that block like he did. And so maybe that's why they called it because, obviously, like it's when they slow it down, like you could tell it's not a foul. But in the moment, it probably looks like a foul, but I don't think you call it just because you could let the game go to overtime. I know people would be tired and everything, but you'd rather let them play to determine the outcome than let your call determine the outcome.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be that ref that's like, all right, here you go. You get 3 free shots with 0 time on the clock to win the game.
I agree 100%, but like at the same time, I'm not gonna let a dude just punch a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that logic, it doesn't work always, but in this case, yes. I think it was more of an anticipation foul. He thought Brunson was gonna hit him, and I don't know.
It's a lot of the game, and I mean, I understand the whole human error like aspect. Human error is like, or the whole human aspect of refs is such a big part of sports. It will never change as much as like the technology improves. I don't think they'll ever. It's just
I don't think it should either, though.
And I would agree. Maybe it shouldn't. And you know what I was saying earlier, maybe I got too carried away. But at the same time, there does need to be like, and I disagree with the people who say that they should be held accountable with fines, but there should definitely be like like an internal system that they use to maybe the
refs.
No, I said I disagree with people who on Twitter who are brain dead who say that the refs should get fined for bad calls. I think that's dumb. I think that they're not trying to. I know for a fact that these refs aren't trying to make these bad calls. Well, maybe
you won't have it. You won't have any refs left.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, sure. That's what I'm saying. But I do agree with maybe there should be like an internal system where the refs, the refs who make the best or like the calls at the highest rate, get to the playoff games or get bonus.
They do. They have a system for that.
I know, but like a internal for the finals.
It's a rating system. I know they have it for high school and college. I know for sure.
Okay.
I don't know how NBA works.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I was proposing. High school, I've never heard of it. I know they did it. I didn't know they did. I know they did it in college, but I wasn't sure about the NBA.
High school, I think they do it better in college. Like I think they have like actual like retired refs go watch refs and then rate them.
That'd be scary, don't you think? Like being a ref and like having people like, but at the same time, like you should be good at your job.
It's not like it's a new thing. You already have people watching you, so like somebody come in and grade you, just do your job.
And every other job has that. Like you'll be an accountant at some company, and there'll be someone watching you. So I think it's fair. It's also a lot of high pressure.
The only bad thing is I don't know how the NBA does it, but I know high school it was bad from Kentucky. Like they let the coaches rate you, so it becomes a little political.
Yeah, that's definitely political.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in the NBA. I don't know if coaches rate. I know you can at least you can say like you don't want this ref, like you get one of those. I don't know.
Oh, really? Like Rainbow Six Siege, like you get to ban a map. Interesting.
Yeah, kind of.
No, so it's kind of like that. I definitely think there's some conflict of interest if it's a coach for obvious reasons. You guys want to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis this year?
I think Brandon's got it.
Brandon, you got this?
I'll go over it.
Hell yeah, let's see it.
Yeah. So obviously we have the NBA All-Star Weekend. Reverted back to East versus West, which I think is great. I don't hate the drafting because it's like the draft's cool and everything, but I think East versus West is more of what they would call the OG. That's like what I grew up watching. Obviously, that's probably what Josh and Coleman grew up watching, although Josh is an old head.
Yeah, true.
But no, I mean,
how am I the old head? Because I don't do that.
Are you the oldest? Wait, what are your guys' birthdays?
I'm about to be 20 on Monday.
Oh, you're right. It's on. Wait, what day? What day is it? What number? Monday. 19th? Well, happy early birthday, man. I should know that. So 19th. So you're a few days older than me. Mine's March 1st. And Brandon, are you already 20?
No.
When do you turn 20?
Like June 30th.
That's right. I remember from last year. Okay, so June 30th. So Brandon's the youngest, and Josh is the oldest.
I guess I am the old head.
Yeah, you are the old head, man, by a couple days.
Crazy.
Yeah, I knew that. Anyway, like I said, East versus West is the best thing that they could do. On Friday, they have the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. I think, I might tune into that to see which celebrities are, really real hoopers. I think it's Shannon Sharp's team versus Stephen A. Smith.
Wait, so they're coaching or are they playing?
They're coaching.
Oh, dang. Imagine if
Shannon Sharp could probably go in there.
Yeah, get Unk in there.
Stephen A. Smith would get demolished, and I would be so happy to watch that.
And then after the Celebrity All-Star Game, they have the Rising Stars game. They have a semifinal 1, semifinal 2, and then the final. So I believe there's 4 teams for that. And then on Saturday is when they have the Kia Skills Challenge, the Starry 3-point contest, the Steph versus Sabrina 3-point challenge.
Ooh.
They have the dunk contest. And then Sunday is obviously they have the 73rd NBA All-Star game.
Wait, Brandon, the Sabrina versus Steph, that's the dunk contest, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
They're getting little hoops. No.
They're going to set up the 8-footers for Steph.
Yeah.
But we on our thing we're going to choose who we think is going to win the 3-point contest, who we think is going to win the dunk contest, and then the skills contest. But,
and Brendan, I disagree with what you said. I think it's who we know would win, and obviously referring to me and my picks. But you can keep going.
I mean, so yeah, it's who we know who will win, except for the skills contest, because we all wanted to choose different teams. So I mean, I obviously knew that Team Indiana would win, but we'll get to that. But I think East versus West, we already told y'all who's playing the last couple of podcasts, I believe. So let's just get right into the 3-point contest, who they believe is going to win. We'll start with Josh.
Yeah,
and why? I need good reasoning. I need persuasion.
Good reasoning. All right, so I picked I picked Trae Young. Babyface Trae, the assassin killer. He's balding, so that kind of like aerodynamics. Is
Do
really
you
good.
relate with him or no?
Do I relate with him? No,
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not balding. No.
Oh, okay. My
I'm
fault.
not balding. No.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But Trae, he's been on a tear lately, and I think he wants to prove why he should have been in the game.
So cool, Trae Young. Am I up next? Do I give my
pick? Yeah,
pick?
you go next, bro.
Well,
there's this. Listen to your terrible picks. That's fine.
Well, there's this player, and he's from he's a Minnesota guy now. He's not from Minnesota. I think he's from New Jersey, and he played basketball in Kentucky. Is he not from New Jersey? I thought he's from.
He is from New Jersey.
That's what I said.
Where'd he really come from?
That's what I was about to say. He's a big UK guy. You act like I wouldn't mention that. Like I'm not a UK fan. Time. Yeah, you act like I wouldn't say that. You act like I wouldn't say that, man. I'm a UK fan. All right. Anyway, so
sometimes
Karl Anthony Towns, man, he's won it before. Didn't win it last year, but I don't think he was playing. I don't think he was in it last year because he was injured. But he is, your 2024. I mean, I can just say it now. 2024 3-point contest champion. I'm confident that he's going to win it. He's the best shooting big of all time. Josh and Brandon and I have all had we're planning on doing a debate or a courtroom topic, reviving the courtroom for those OG listeners where we used to do the arguments, a little argument session, a little courtroom session on the best shooting bigs of all time. Dirk, we got, and Brandon brought up KD. I don't think he can be considered in that conversation. He's not a big, come on. And so we were talking about that. And that's my pick, Cat. He won before. Like I said, he's the best shooting big man of all time, and I'm very confident he's going to win. So, Brandon, what's your pick?
My pick, dude, I'm torn. I obviously I don't want to pick the same as y'all. I have 6 great options. I think I'm, something in my gut just telling me to go with Jalen Brunson. I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna listen to my gut. Jalen. I mean, obviously,
it's probably the bad food you ate earlier. Let's be real.
Probably, dude. I got a story to tell y'all after this, but yeah. Anyway, Damian Lillard's still participating. He won last year. I was sleeping on him. I just don't think this year. He already won. He's not gonna try. I mean, it doesn't mean the same. Tyrese Halliburton, Shotty's got a whack jumper.
Yeah, but he is at home. I was thinking about that when you mentioned it. He is in the
hometown crowd. They're gonna be hyped when he hits a shot. If he hits a shot, you got to think.
But I just think Jalen Brunson. If y'all didn't notice, he's the only lefty on the list. I really just think it's something different. I think if Luka was in this thing, give me Luka. I mean Luka. I'm not glazing, but he's the wettest jumper I've ever seen,
bro.
Yeah,
have you not watched Devin Booker?
Oh, that was glazing originally, but this is Hall of Fame level.
All right. Anyway, let's just move on. Jalen Brunson obviously gonna win. I think he's done a decent year this year shooting. I was gonna go with Malik Beasley just because he has the highest 3-point percentage out of all these guys, but I didn't because that's a casual pick.
Where's Grayson Allen?
I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson.
Why isn't Grayson Allen on here? I actually would like to see Grayson Allen here. If Grayson Allen was on here, I'd pick him.
Why would you want to see Grayson Allen?
Because he's shooting 50% from 3, and he's a menace, and people hate him. Okay, and people hate him. That's probably what I'd say. All right, what's up next, Brennan?
Up next, we obviously have. Up next would be Steph versus Sabrina, but that we'll just go over that.
I think we all know who we're picking.
I'm picking Sabrina. I haven't locked it.
Next, we have the NBA dunk contest. We have Jaylen Brown, Mac McClung, who obviously, if y'all watched it last year, really revised the dunk contest. We have Jacob Toppin and Jamie Jaquez Jr. I saw someone said that it's not even NBA players anymore, which is right. I mean, I don't even know. Is Jacob Toppin even on a team, or is he?
I don't think so. He's on the G League, right?
Indiana. He's G League affiliate for the New York Knicks.
Oh, for the Knicks.
That's what it says. Cool. I mean, obviously, we'll let Josh go first, just like last time. But
Josh, how do you know that about Jacob?
I think,
because he's the GOAT. I mean, what do you mean?
Where'd he go to school?
The greatest university of all time, University of Kentucky.
Just checking in.
No wonder he's on the bench. You can cut that.
Yo, can you name a Michigan player in the NBA
Jordan Poole,
besides Jordan Poole?
Duncan Robinson.
Ooh.
All right, okay.
Damn!
Give me five. Give me 5 good ones.
Juan Howard Jr.
Wow.
I said good ones.
Trey Lyles.
Dang. Wait,
He's still
what?
in the NBA?
Wait, what?
He went to Kentucky, you idiot.
Trey
No,
Lyles.
wait, what's that? No, what's that guy's name? Hold on.
Trey Burke.
Trey Burke, yeah.
Yeah, trash. You don't even know. Fake fan.
It's a Trey, dude.
We're trying to have a Kentucky versus Michigan argument, and he names a Kentucky guy. That's
what an
I
idiot.
respect. No, but I respect dude. He knows his guys. He knows his Michigan guys.
Come on, bro. Hunter Dickinson will be in there. Well, he's
not.
He's pre-firing that one.
He will
All right,
not
anyway.
make it to the NBA.
Josh, who's your pick for the dunk contest?
Well, I think it's pretty clear. I'm going with Jacob Toppin. Brother to Obi Toppin, another great dunker.
Did he win it?
He had some good dunks at UK. He did it at 360 at Arkansas. I remember that was pretty intense. It was a good game. I don't know if we won that one or not, to be honest.
My pick is unfortunately. I say unfortunately because
Coleman, you can go with my guy if you want. I'll let.
I want no. It's fair. You got him first. You picked him first.
No, you can go with him because I'd rather go with this other guy.
Oh, you wait, really? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
in that case, I'm definitely changing mine, and we'll never say his name. But I had a different guy picked, but I'm now going to pick Mac McClung, the reigning champ. I know it's the cliche pick, whatever. Brandon was mentioning how he kind of revived the dunk contest, which he did. But I would say that I think he has a good chance to win it again. And it's sad because he has super high expectations. I bet he's the favorite to win it. I haven't looked at the lines. I'm sure there's a line for that. There's a line for everything. People are betting on the Gatorade color of the. So yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. And so I think Mac McClung's gonna win. That's all I gotta say. Brandon, who do you got?
I was just gonna let you know that Mac McClung is negative 225 on BetMGM, negative 190 on FanDuel, and negative 150 on DraftKings. So if you bet on him, he's obviously the favorite. You're not going to win any money unless you bet millions. And let me just tell you, I ain't got money like that.
I do, so it's okay.
My pick is going to be Jimmy Jaquez Jr. Obviously.
At least say his name right.
What is it, Jaquez?
Jaquez.
Jamie Jaquez Jr.?
No. Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm picking Jaime Jaquez Jr. as
Butchered it again. It's all right though. Keep going. As
Coleman's, trying to teach me the name. I'm just a Southern boy. I can't roll my R's and everything.
Yeah, you're good.
While I was sitting here thinking about it, I was getting flashbacks, and I was flashing back to an Instagram reel that I saw
the trees
of Jamie Duncan, or Jaime, I don't know how you say it. He was dunking back in high school. Let me tell you, this boy was throwing down. So I'm just gonna go with him. Obviously, Mac McClung's the favorite, but I'm not. I'm gonna use my brain a little. I'm just gonna use my brain.
Wow!
I think
a new revelation here in this whole Brandon Harkey arc. He's going to start using his brain. Maybe that'll help you pick. Or actually, I can't say that because you're actually in the lead for the games we're picking. Well, I'm just kind of picking on you today, man. I'm sorry. Keep going.
It's good. But that's my pick. Obviously, he's going to be the winner. So we'll move on to the skills contest. Skills contest is the thing where they do, back in the day, it was single player, I believe. They didn't have these teams. So I don't know. But I remember back in the day, it was you would pass, in this net, you would do a bounce pass, shoot a free throw, layup. I think it was you had to do a 3-pointer too. They used to race each other. They've changed it multiple times. It used to be times, then they did races. Now it's teams of 3. So the first team we have is Team Indiana, obviously, because they're hosting, and that's Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Leonard, and Benedict Mathurin, I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
And then for the other team, they have it called Team Top Picks. So it's people that were drafted first overall. They have obviously Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, I guess, and Paulo Banchero. That's a good team. And we have Team All-Star. I believe that's Trey Young, Donovan Mitchell, and someone else, but let me
Scotty Barnes, FSU legend.
Scotty Barnes, there it is. Thank you.
Very special player.
Yeah, he's special lost. Those are the 3 teams. Coleman, if y'all didn't know, obviously would go with the team where his father's on. So, Coleman, what
Yep.
team did you choose?
I chose the team with Anthony Edwards on it. I don't know who those two other guys are. I don't know who Victor Wembanyama is. Sounds like a bum. I don't know who Paulo Banchero is. Uh, Also sounds like a bum. But I know that one guy on there is not a bum. His name is Anthony Edwards. And out of all the players on there, he might have the worst handles, like even worse than like Miles Turner. But at the same time, I'm still going with my man. So that's what I'm going for.
Thank you, thank you. Josh, what team did you pick, man?
I did go with a kind of casual pick, but at the same time, I think it's just going to win me it. So I went Team All Stars. They're All Stars for a reason. And like Coleman said, I'm not going to pick Ant. Dude's whack. Limby too tall. Paulo went to Duke, so that's out. And then Team Indiana is just a bunch of bums. And Indiana's bums, so like.
Whoa. Dude, we're trying to get sponsors here, Josh. We can't just be calling out the NBA All-Star hosting
Now
team.
Now we can rule out the Indiana Pacers forever sponsoring the Wildcards podcast. Great job.
There we go.
It'd make us biased, though. You can't do that.
Right.
I helped us out.
Obviously, we're all trying to pick different teams, so I got Team Indiana, which I don't hate. I think Tyrese Halliburton leads the league in assists, so obviously he knows how to sling that rock. So, I mean, all he has to do, I don't know what they do, but let me tell you, he'll sling that thing. Benedict Mathurin, I believe, is a second-year guy, rookie last year. He's got potential, kind of like Jaden Ivey. Good. And then we have Miles Turner. Forgot, Big Dog was still in the league. He's been there for a bit, but I think that team will perform.
Forgot my bro is in the league. He's like pretty good.
Anyway. Yeah, but after the bubble, he had the injuries and everything.
No, for sure. No, I agree. He's definitely, but I still think Miles Turner. I mean, I know he's extremely productive in the pick and roll from what I've been reading. Some numbers. I've been studying up on some NBA numbers. So I feel like I should have got a better handle on some advanced metrics. I'm pretty sure he's like top couple of centers in the league for pick and roll.
You should probably spend that time studying on school.
Organic chemistry. Yeah, probably.
Are you taking?
Yeah, it's just I'm an organic.
How's that?
Attempting it. It's all right, man. It's going well. I'm probably not gonna ace the class, but anything's still on the table. It's only been one test. Anyway, let's go back to the little course update for me. You guys want to talk about our picks for the week and our picks overall?
Yeah, I mean we can. Yeah. I guess I'll talk about last week. Last week total. I went 7-3, which is pretty good. I'm not bad. Not a bad week. Brandon also went 7-3, so congrats to Brandon on that. And then Coleman brought up the rear here. I mean, at 5-5, and that's still 50% though. It's not that bad.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to bring up the end.
Be last.
Yeah. Make sure everyone's still on course.
I mean, really, did we miss any picks? Well, I mean, me and Brandon called the Texas Tech upset, which they got trounced.
Yeah, that was
Kansas
good.
Did.
Yeah, Kansas got killed. That was a really bad pick by me.
Yeah.
The same day, I picked the Nuggets to beat the Bucks. Also lost by like 20.
Also lost that one, and then we all lost the Clippers one.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I thought, well, not for me. I mean, I was surprised with how good the Timberwolves did against them. They looked dominant.
And then y'all made fun of me for picking the Kings versus the Nuggets, and the Kings won.
Yep.
And then, of course, the 49ers lost, and y'all picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's one where you had one. I was kind of I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty confident in the Chiefs winning that game. I mean, it's easy to say that in retrospect, but at least I have this to back me up. I was pretty confident. It's Mahomes. But anyway, that's just a little side note.
Yeah, so the running total now is I am at 27-23, 54%. Brandon has taken over the lead at 30-20, 60%, and Coleman is at 29-21, 58%. So
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, if you want to do some quick math, Coleman's 1 game off from Brandon. I am 2 games off from Coleman and 3 off from Brandon. So this week might determine a lot, boys. It might just be
good.
A nail biter.
Halfway mark. We got 5 more weeks to go. And again, if you guys are new, we of course pick 10 games every week. 10. Hopefully, we try to pick games that are like somewhat competitive. We pick games that are,
This week is actually really good.
This week is a lot of college basketball. So if you're a college basketball fan, make sure to pay attention. But obviously we pick 10 games, and the losers, whoever has the least games out of the 100 games we pick, we're doing 10 weeks of 10 games. Whoever has the least amount of games won is going to have to buy all of us 3, not all of us. Sorry guys listening, but us 3 are gonna go out to expensive, very extravagant restaurant like Burger King or Wendy's, and they're gonna buy us a lot of food. And I'm just kidding, of course. Probably going to go to like 5-star Gordon Ramsay. Or what are the games we got this week, Brandon?
First on the slate on Friday we have New Mexico at San Diego State. Me and Josh went with San Diego State as they were, I believe, in the Final Four last year of college basketball. At least that was my choice of the March Madness. And Coleman
You chose it based on what they did last year? That's pretty casual.
Yeah.
That's pretty casual, actually.
And,
I didn't do that, so.
Yeah, me neither. So it's okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, because Coleman went with New Mexico. So Coleman, why do you believe in? I don't know. Are they still the Aztecs?
Yeah. Or wait, no, that's in New Mexico.
No, that's New
Mexico State. That's New Mexico State. That's the Aggies.
Aren't they the Wolfpack? The New Mexico?
The Lobos.
Lobo,
LOBO. I'm sticking with the University of New Mexico Lobos, because I'm a strong believer. My family's, most of them are from New Mexico. Dad went to school there. A lot of history in New Mexico. I'm rocking with my dogs, and that's basically it. Just family connection. And I think it's pretty much a toss-up. They're on the road, but I still think it's a close game. I don't think San Diego State's nearly what they were last year. Two unranked teams, but yeah, moving on to Saturday. What do we got?
On Saturday we have 4 games. We have Texas at number 3 Houston. We all went with Houston on this one. I believe Houston's just a better team. We won't speak much about that one. Next game on Saturday, we have number 9 Duke at Florida State. Me and Coleman went with Duke as I'm just a Zion, Duke better than Kentucky. And we have
get him off the
Josh
podcast.
went with Florida State. Josh, why did you choose Florida State?
Well, I go to school at Florida State. First of all, first and foremost.
You go to Florida State. What a loser, dude. What an absolute bonehead.
But also, I feel like they played it real close with Carolina and North Carolina. The 2 games that they played them, they played really good at home, which is where this game's going to be at. I feel like I wouldn't say it's a tough environment to come and play.
At all. It's bad.
I would say like this would be the peak. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's going to be any good, it's going to be this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to show out. I wish I could go. Can't go. But if I was there, they would definitely lose. But I'm praying for my FSU brothers, my people I go to school with, play good.
Heck yeah.
All right, good pick. I would say the best game of the week, we have number 4 Marquette at number 1 UConn. Josh and Coleman both went with UConn. I'm choosing my upset of the week to be Marquette over UConn. UConn, I believe, is undefeated at home. Marquette, I think they're 4-4 on the road this year. Okay, so UConn, they're 13-0 at home this year, and Marquette 6-3 on the road. Marquette's a very good team. Obviously, they're on an 8-game winner right now as of we're recording this podcast. UConn's on a 12-game win streak, but I think, obviously, all good win streaks must come to an end. I think Marquette is the best team that has the chance to beat them. I think Marquette. I think, they're always my March Madness pick to make it to like the Elite Eight. So hopefully they can do me proud right here and just beat UConn.
For sure.
But I'm be real though. Like I honestly thought about picking Marquette, but at the same time I'm like I can't pick against UConn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the fact that I wouldn't pick Marquette, just I can't pick against UConn. That's pretty much my thought process.
Got it.
I also picked the Marquette because we have UConn Creighton later, and I didn't want to, UConn. They can't win them both, can they? They can't do that.
Sure, you're right. Well, actually, no, you're not. You're not right. You're not right. But sure, I'll say you're right.
Next game we have.
Next game we have is number 22 Kentucky at number 13 Auburn. This is the battle of the cats. Josh obviously sticking with his team, Kentucky. He's never gonna let them down. They might let him down, but let me know.
No, they will.
Let me tell you. What is that thing?
Oh, they've let me down, but they're back.
What is it? I don't know what the saying is, but if Kentucky has one fan, Josh is that fan. If Kentucky has no fans, Josh is that. So,
if we have 1 million fans, Coleman's not a fan.
No, I'm a fan. Listen, I'm a fan, but it's hard to be a fan. I'm always.
It is hard to be a fan, but you gotta be there.
Especially when Kentucky, for the first time since I think in the 1970s or maybe in the 60s, 1966, lost 3 in a row at Rupp Arena. So there's that. But so
it's Kentucky versus Auburn. So me and Coleman went with Auburn. There's really no need to let Josh rant about why he chose Kentucky because that would
Can I
probably
just give like a concise thing?
sure, go for it.
I mean, if you could keep it concise.
If you have to, sure.
Well, I feel like Kentucky has now gotten I feel like Cal's finally got his rotation down. I mean, he talked about having a new team in the midseason, which he has. I think you got to play Adu more. Trey Mitchell just got hurt. I don't know what's happened with his shoulder, but I think he'll be back. Or if not, I don't think it's a big loss. You got a good rim protector in Onyenzo, Reed Shepard, Rob Dillingham, and now Justin Edwards have really come on.
In 2 games.
And of course, you got Antonio Reeves. He's a steady hand, especially at road games in the SEC. So I think the crowd's going to be rocking. I think Kentucky is going to try to prove themselves this weekend because they need one of these wins. You know what I'm saying? They need to win an SEC road game against a good team.
That's a good explanation there, Josh. Way to keep it concise, man. Next, we'll move on. Sunday, it's the NBA All-Star. We have an Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference. Josh Coleman went with the Western Conference.
Can I say why?
Yeah.
When we have in my league, when Bam Adebayo is the best option for center in the Eastern Conference available, obviously, then we have a problem. All right, this is a travesty. This is a national travesty. And Brandon, I want to hear why you picked the Eastern Conference because obviously Joel Embiid's out, but let me know why I should have any faith in you and your pick.
You ever heard of a guy named Giannis?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, he's probably one of the best basketball players of our generation.
Run and dunk.
Call it what you want. I think obviously it's the NBA All-Star game. It's not a real game. They're not going to be playing defense. I just think the Pacers, they're an Eastern Conference team. They might be more favored, to win at home.
Okay.
And I just
think that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Basically a home game for the Eastern Conference if you really think about it.
Okay.
And I'm just kidding. The Pistons are in the East. I got to stick with the East.
Okay.
That's my reasoning.
Okay. I got you.
Thanks, man. On Monday, unless one of y'all wants to go, I think I'm flowing right now.
You're flowing. Go for it.
You're flowing, bro.
On Monday, we have number 10, Iowa State versus number 3, Houston. This is a good game. We all chose Houston, although you really could lean either way. I think if Iowa State was at home, I would have gone with Iowa State. But
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
It's just it's a tough game to choose. I think I'd rather Houston's odds at home than so. Next game we have is number 21, Virginia at Virginia Tech. Josh and Coleman both went with Tech there. Any reasoning?
Well, they just sold the bag hard last night.
Virginia did, yeah.
Yeah, Virginia. Virginia was playing last night. I was grabbing myself some Chick-fil-A from the campus Chick-fil-A late at night. I needed to get me some, and I was just watching, and Pittsburgh just laid the hammer down. A kind of embarrassing loss for Virginia. It's a fall from grace, from what they once were. And when I say what they once were, I'm talking about when they lost to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, the number 16 seed but before that, they were pretty good. So you have to give them some credit. But they've really taken a step back since, and they need to find themselves struggling against low tier opponents.
That's a good explanation there. I went with Virginia just because of they're a good team. I don't know why y'all are hating on Virginia, man. I think this is the battle of the Virginias, and just give me the team that's ranked. You feel me?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, it's such a casual pick. I mean, we literally talked about how in college basketball it's better to be unranked at home playing a top 25 team than it is to be the other way around.
Sometimes.
So that's fine. No, I mean, it's
true, but it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work like that, Josh.
Yeah, 34 to 33 with AP top 10 teams on the road at unranked teams.
On Tuesday, we have number 1 UConn at number 17 Creighton. We all went with UConn. I almost went with Creighton, but I had gone with Marquette. And, UConn does not lose twice, but they do lose once, let me tell you.
Sure.
But we all went with UConn there. And then our last game of the week, we have number 12 Baylor at number 19 BYU University. Coleman
Brigham Young University.
Coleman went with BYU. Me and Josh went with Baylor. I'll let Josh speak for us because
To be honest with you, it was kind of a toss-up again for me. Like, these are really good games. So, really, Baylor, I feel like they need a good win on the road. They won a lot at home. And especially in the Big 12, you got to win your games. Even though they're number 12 right now, I mean, they're 1 or 2 losses away from being out of the top 25. So, I think if they lose this BYU game, they become like a number 20-ish team. And then you got to know you got to win this game. So I think the same thing for BYU, but I think BYU has a less talented team. I think they're older and more mature, but I think Baylor is their talent is superior. They do have some older players on their team, and they also have a good freshman called Jacoby Walter. He's talented. He's one of the top 5 freshmen in the nation. But yeah, I think he's gonna have a standout game sometime soon. So.
Jaden Nunn.
Thank you, Josh, for that good explanation. And that concludes the picks for this week. I believe that concludes the podcast for this week. I will mention for any golf viewers out there, Tiger Woods is playing this week in the Guinness Invitational.
And also, did you see the Sunday Red stuff he dropped?
Yeah, I did, with TaylorMade partnership. I believe
it's called golf guys.
It's called Sunday Red. It's 3 words. So yeah.
You know why they did that?
Yeah, I saw it. It's like a Harvard study says it's better.
Oh no, I thought the trademark Sunday Red was already taken, so they just cut it up.
I mean, that could be true, but I thought I saw a thing that says 3 words. It's easier to remember, which, I mean, I guess it does make sense, but you would think Sunday as 1 word, so it's, I don't know. And I did see a thing, if you do Google the logo, each stripe on the tiger represents his major wins, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Could be wrong, but yeah. So, Tiger's back for the golf viewers out there. If you like NASCAR, Daytona 500 this weekend. Biggest race of the year. Start off the season. So,
big NASCAR guy over here. So if you guys have
I love NASCAR.
If any questions about NASCAR, definitely DM my boy Brandon. But without further ado, I think that we'll have to end our podcast for this week. I want to thank everyone for showing out, the Wildcards crew, listening to the pod all the way through, awesome real ones. If you guys want to check out the social medias, you make sure to go to Instagram, look up Show Wildcards, SHOWWILDCARDS. There you'll find a link tree with all the links to anything you'll ever need about the Show Wildcards podcast. And if you do feel so inclined, you can, follow us on TikTok, social medias, anything like that. But without that, or with that out of the way, I want to thank everyone for showing out. And peace, guys. Have a good week.
Yeah, peace, guys. Appreciate it.